What is up, everyone? So today is another special day. We are going to the port to pick up another car. Yay! A little bit different of a ride this time. I'm going by myself. It was kind of last minute. This car's actually been sitting at the port for over a week now, so I'm gonna have to pay some late fees. I sold my Mercedes. It was time for it to go. And when I sold it, I had bought a trailer hitch setup for my Toyota, so I could tow with that. I didn't need the Mercedes anymore. I got my turbo diesel Toyota. I paid for it when I sold the Mercedes in anticipation for needing to tow, and I bought a hitch, an OEM Toyota hitch off eBay, and it never came. It never showed up. So I had to have a PayPal. I had to file a PayPal claim, go through all that, and I finally got my money back. But in the meantime, I have no hitch. So now this car has been here. It's kind of threw a damper in my plans, but I borrowed a buddy's truck, and we're taking that down. And that is a 2018 Denali turbo diesel truck. And the thing's really, it's badass. It's got like some huge rims on it and stuff, but now I have to rent a trailer from U-Haul. So that's where I am heading now. And then we'll be on the road to Dirty Jersey. See you on the road. Good old New York. We are sitting in traffic. Absolute nightmare as usual. This is New York. I absolutely dread coming to New York. But for all you guys that comment that you would hate driving through New York after watching my videos, like, this is all it is. Like, traffic, terrible roads, a million different exits you got to get off, and I got a trailer, so I can't take parkways. The GPS only wants to make you take parkways, so it's a constant fight to make sure the GPS doesn't put you on a parkway and stay on an expressway or interstate. And then this is what happens. All right, it is beautiful out here in stinky Jersey. We're at Dagnell's favorite place, the Vince Lombardi rest stop, on the way home. And this is what we got. Another beat number 2. This one is a little cosmetically challenged, to say the least, but it is low mile and it runs and drives really nice. So even though it needs a little bit of work, it doesn't seem like it has very much rust on it. It's relatively clean. The paint's just screwed up and nasty. It looks like it had a cheap repaint at some point, and the top is toasted. But it's got good tires, a set of Enkeis. It started right up, no weird noises, and it drove really nice. Everything felt real tight. It actually drove better than my last beat. My last beat was a lot cleaner than this one. So we are going to fix that. We are going to fix the cosmetic disabilities that this has and make this a pretty beat. We're going to throw a top on it, repaint it, got a set of wheels for it, maybe lower it a little bit, and bring this back to its former glory. But once we get back to the shop, we will actually go over it and check it all out, show you what it needs, and maybe take it for a little spin. Now I am back on the road so I don't get stuck in major traffic. All right, so we made it back to the shop. All in all, not too bad of a trip. Got stuck in traffic a couple times. Driving through New York always sucks. But we made it back at a decent time. I returned the trailer already, and this is what we ended up with. So, not a bad little car. I took it down the street for a little rip, and it runs and drives awesome. Like I said before, it's a little cosmetically challenged. The paint is paint's junk. Someone repainted it very, very poorly. It's just flaking off. The top is in terrible shape. All the moldings, it looks like somebody put gook on to seal. But the bones are good. It's got good bones. The tires are surprisingly good. And if you guys remember, these are nice little Enkeis. Nothing special, but nice little Enkeis. But if you guys remember, I have a nice set of Sprint Heart CPs, competition CPs, that are beat fitment 13 and 14, because that's how the beats come, 13 in the front, 14 in the back, like a mini NSX. And I have the nice polished lip with the painted center Sprint Hearts for a beat. And they need tires. I have to refinish them first. I just have to paint the centers and repolish the lips. So nothing crazy. I already have the decals that go on the inside. I bought them a while ago. So we're gonna redo those wheels for this. We're gonna strip the paint down. There's a couple like moldings and crap that are We're gonna restore the headlights. We're gonna bring this beat back. It's got fairly low miles. It's got like 50,000-ish miles converted. The speedometer doesn't seem to work though. The tach actually works, and all the other gauges work. The speedometer doesn't, which is notorious on these beats. The gauge clusters always go out on them. Seems to be a lot of DIYs to fix them. I fixed my last Beats cluster by cleaning all the contacts and kind of smacking it around, and it started working. So hopefully we can fix this one too. This one actually works more than my other one did, and this one has less miles on it. This one is a 91, which most of the Beats were made in 91, and my other one was, I think, a 93. But yeah, here she is. It just gives us an excuse to bring her back to life, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. I mean, we still have to bring this back to life, but I'm waiting on parts. Got just JDM cars everywhere. Let's see what we are working with on this Beat. So, interior looks good enough. It can be cleaned up. We got some plastics that are kind of hanging. The top is toasted. The tops always have rust on them. This one has a little bit of rust right there, but that is easy enough to fix. We're gonna get a new top for it. Which thing that kind of sucks about these tops is you can get them right in the US. And when I had my other Beat, I wanted to order a top for it, and they were like 450 bucks for a top. Obviously without the frame or anything, just the fabric, which is fine. My frame is fine. I could fix that little tiny piece of rust. I went and looked like a week ago, because I knew this was coming in, and the price almost doubled to $750 for a top now. So within a year, I had the other Beat, what, a year ago? It doubled in price. Like, I know inflation was bad, but really, fucking doubled in price. So that's a real bummer. But what are you gonna do? Another option is bend up like a little roll bar to take the top off completely, and then basically mount the little roll bar, you know, have it go across the back and then to the front, and mount to the windshield, basically where, right here, where the top would mount. They actually sell ones just like that. It's a little roll bar, and it goes across the top, and it's just like two bars that go across the top. It actually looks really cool, but you don't really have any rain protection at that point, which, if the car is going to be a toy, then is what it is. That's fine if you got a garage. Another thing is, I'm not keeping this car. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to repaint it. We're going to make it nice. We're going to make it a respectable little Beat, and then we're going to sell it, because I have too many cars. I don't need another Beat, and it's just fun to do. I enjoy doing this. So we got it to fix up and sell. I mean, it's going to be a decent amount of work, but that's what YouTube's for. But yeah, we're not keeping it. So we have to take into consideration what someone else is going to want into a Beat. Even though I would like a little cage and no top, that's not exactly what somebody else would want. I'm assuming somebody that's going to buy this, and it's not going to be the most expensive Beat in the world, obviously. It's going to be fairly priced, and it's going to look nice when we're done. It's going to have nice wheels on it, but I think someone's going to want a top. Unfortunately, hard tops are really hard to get. So I think we're just gonna have to get a new soft top. Seats. The passenger seats are always in good shape. The driver's seat though is kind of ratty. And I would totally patch that, but you got this metal sticking out right here, and it fucking hurts to sit in. This metal just kind of pokes into you. So I either have to cut a square out of it, put new foam in, and then either patch it or take it all apart, someone actually replicated this pattern, so I could clean the hell out of the seat and bring it somewhere and have them replace the side and this piece right here. That might be an option. I don't know how much that would cost. I am not an upholstery guy, so it is worth looking into though. If it only cost me, you know, 250 bucks or something, I might be able to get a seat for 250 bucks though. Or at least the back portion of a seat. That would be the best case scenario, just buy a back portion of a seat. Anyways, everything else looks pretty good. The floor mat is a little bit worn, but not as worn as my other one. I think they will clean up pretty nice. I did notice this, and that's why I stuck paper in it. The spring is like missing out of here. So it sags and it turns the wipers on. Super annoying. So I'm going to have to take this apart, figure out what's going on with it, and either find a spring that fits in it or get a new stock assembly, which is not a huge deal. I'm sure I could find one on Buy or what I use, Joust. That's what that package I got from today is. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna have to take the cluster apart, fix that. Steering wheel's not in terrible shape. I think mechanically they really took care of this car, and they just didn't care how it looked, because the shifter is super tight, really nice. It rolls through the gears nice. I took it down the street, it drives awesome. And I just looked, actually I'll show you guys. Going back to saying that I think someone mechanically took care of this, I was looking around. It starts and runs very well, and it's got new CV axles, or at least new boots. So that's not exactly something, you know, if you didn't care about the car, you would just drive it with ripped boots. But somebody replaced all the boots on it, or the axles themselves. And the motor itself looks actually pretty clean. And like I said, I think these shift bushings have been replaced because they're very tight. Overall, I mean, I think mechanically it was taken care of. I think they just let the outside go. The tires are in really nice shape. The brakes have a lot of meat left on them. So we just got to fix it cosmetically. I haven't given you guys an update lately. Eurolines don't like the way they look on here. So I've been talking to somebody on a trade setup. He's got a set of wheels that are too aggressive for his car. He's got a Lexus LS400, and those would fit his car beautifully. So he's got some nice wheels that are way too wide for him that would fit my car beautifully. So I have to finish these up. I'm going to try and finish them up this week. I gotta get the tires mounted, finish painting them, polish them, and then we might be making a trade. So cross my fingers, hope that happens. Moving on to the Silvia. I've been doing stuff to this here and there. Nothing worth filming. Maybe it was. I just was being lazy. I was kind of in a funk. Anyways, remember the HKSs didn't come with adjustable top hats for the camber. So I took a set of PBM tops. I painted them black because they were chipped up and they didn't look that great. And they still don't look that great. But they look better than they did. I took some PBM camber adjustment tops and put them on my HKS coils. So I have camber adjustment again. However, that raised the car up like a ½ inch. And I was already bottomed out on these coils. So now I'm stuck in this position that the ride height is a little too high for me. The HKS spring is 8.5 inches long. That's a long spring for a coilover. So an option I have is switch over to like Swift springs that are 6 inches, and that'll give me 1.5 inches more room to play with, which that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. Or in the meantime, just put the HKS top hats back on after taking these things all apart and putting these camber adjustment plates on, which kind of stinks, but is what it is, because my ride height I was happy with it before. So I might have to put the HKS non-adjustable top hats back on, but Also, I didn't mind where the camber was at before. I just wanted the adjustability, so for the time being, I might just go back to the HKS setup. Also, I might take my Meisters and put them on the Sima for now. I've never really put them on here and seen how I like them on here. So I'm just not done with the S14 to where I'm in love with it yet. I really enjoy driving this car. This car is awesome. I was a little bit slow lately, but we are picking back up. It is starting to become nice out. We have a lot of stuff to do. It's going to be a busy year, that's for sure. Let's keep it exciting. Let's get work done. Let's hang out with friends. Let's build cars. You know the deal, guys. I say it every time. If you're not subbed yet, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Comment. It helps the algorithm so my videos can get out there. I'll see you guys soon. We're going to start putting videos out sooner than we have been. I've been slacking lately, but I am going to get back on track, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.